Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about sacred shards. In specific, we're going to be talking about how you can obtain sacred shards, and in my particular case, how I managed to farm 15 sacred shards roughly per month. I'll also go over some more one-time ways of picking up sacred shards for those still progressing through the game. But to farm 15 sacred shards per month, you need to be pretty end game or at least progressed enough to farm some of these areas. So I'll go over all the areas right now. So first things first, let's go over some of the one-time deal sacred shards. There's actually quite a bit in the game, but you do need to be a little bit progressed in the game. So first, you do have the referral links here. There's a bunch of sacred shards here. This is going to take a ton of effort just to grind up a bunch of additional accounts to get the sacred shards here, but they're available to you, and there's quite a good amount of sacred shards there. They are one-time deals though. The other one-time deal here that actually is quite a lot is coming from the faction wars. You do have to be pretty deep into the faction wars, but you can see here multiple sacred shards available here, as well as a sacred shard here as well. No sacred shards at the end of the Lydia faction wars, but pretty good amount of sacred shards here. You got 4, but these are probably going to be requiring you to be a little bit more into the mid or late game. But it is a one-time deal and a good boost to your account. All right, so after that, we do have some more one-time deal sacred shards here from the progression rewards. So as you're playing the game, as you're leveling up, you do get a sacred shard at 60, and you do get a sacred shard at 100. So again, these are one-time deal sacred shards, but it's going to help you out as you are progressing through the game before you reach the late or end game. The other one-time deals are the missions. There are a bunch of additional missions here from older years. Obviously, Marius missions give you more sacred shards. You have the existing sacred shards from the Arbiter missions and then Ramontu missions as well. So these are one-time sacred shard boosts, which are kind of nice for your account as you're trucking along. And for something that's new for 2023 or 2024, you do have the missions here for Quintus or the Quintus fragments that allows you to pick up a sacred shard here at the end. Obviously, this is a pretty big time commitment and pretty late stage of your progression, but it's there for your taking. Another one-time deal for the sacred shards are these challenges. Look at this. I haven't even finished these challenges. I have 4 parts here. I think it's going to be a legendary book here, but I'm honestly not too bothered to finish these. I'm a super endgame player, by the way. I've never actually focused on these from the beginning, but you do get a sacred shard, I believe, from one of the dungeons. I believe from this one you do get a sacred shard. So it's there for you to go along and get. All right, so those are the one-time deals available in the game. So this is how I actually farm and the math behind how I can accumulate the amount of sacreds that I have. I have 37 on my account at this moment. This morning I had 50 sacred shards, and basically I'm always netting positive every month, just collecting sacred shards because I don't spend as much as I acquire. But I'll go through how I get these sacred shards. So number one, the easiest way to get sacred shards is actually just logging into the game. After 30 days of completing your daily logins, you will get a sacred shard here. So that's going to be a given. It's basically available to anybody regardless of your progression in the game. Okay, so beyond that monthly sacred shard, this second method requires a little bit more progression. You need to be progressed in Doom Tower. So Doom Tower, you will be getting a sacred shard, I believe here at the 110 stage, and I believe you get a sacred shard at the top. So you do get 2 sacred shards climbing the Doom Tower, but it does probably require you to be a little bit progressed into the late game. You need to have some teams to get through some of these really hard, tougher levels. But it's there, and it's basically farmable every month. So I do that every month, and I get 2 extra sacred shards there. So bringing my total to 3 sacred shards. The next area also requires you to be pretty advanced into this game, but this is something that I farm every month, and it's going to be Tag Team Arena. So Tag Team Arena here in the Bazaar, you do have access to a sacred shard that is available to you once per month. Okay, this means that as long as you're in the gold tier, you have access to this, and you only need to be up here once per month just to get the sacred shard. So if you're hovering around silver, for example, as soon as you enter the gold tier, make sure you save up 30,000 bars so that you can buy your reward sacred shard, which is really nice. But for me, I basically get this every month from the bazaar. It's no big deal for me. So it's just an extra sacred shard that I can farm consistently and regularly. So that brings my total up to 4 sacreds for the month. Lastly, and probably the most impactful place where you can get free sacred shards is obviously the clan boss. So this is why people always stress the clan boss. It is the basically a shard or loot pinata, right? You hit it, you get the loot, but it's also the most impactful way to get sacred shards. And here is the math behind getting the sacred shards from the demon lord. I hope this helps in terms of visualizing what the odds are, but basically if you get the top chest from the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss, you have a 13.67% chance of getting a sacred shard. And then here are the other percentages for the other shards. You get a very good chance at getting a shard for first off, about 80 plus percent of getting one of the shards. And then you also get a chance to get the sacred shard from the nightmare, 6% chance only, but it's still there. So visualizing this, expected shards per year, if you can do 2 nightmare chests and ultra nightmare chests. So this is basically doing it daily and having your clan clear the damage threshold on the ultra nightmare and nightmare clan boss. This is what you're expecting in terms of your annual return on your sacred shards, about 145 sacred shards over the year, which translates to about 11.8 sacred shards per month. So 11.8 sacred shards per month from 2 chests Ultra Nightmare, 2 chests Nightmare daily. That's what you should be expecting on average from your clan boss chest. So to put this in perspective, I'll show you guys a quick clip here of my battle prowess. Basically, you can see here 732 transcendent chests and 732 ultimate chests. So these are the top chests from Ultra Nightmare and the Nightmare clan boss. It kind of shows you how consistent I've been farming this demon lord. So basically it gives me 2 chests per day and 366 days of the year. Somehow I got an extra 2 chests in that last year of data collection from Plarium, but there you go. Just goes to show you to consistently farm these chests, and I do so myself. So I'm practicing what I preach and all that stuff. I do consistently farm Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare daily, and you can even see I even farm brutal and hard chests as well. So I don't really miss too many chests. I just farm it consistently. So per month, that brings us our total to about 16 sacred shards that I can farm relatively consistently. Obviously, from the clan boss, it's going to be inconsistent at times, up and down. I've had months where I've gotten 20 sacred shards, and I've had months where I've gotten like 5 or 6 sacred shards. So in the end, it kind of balances out to about 11-ish sacred shards per month that you can farm from Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare clan boss. Please ensure that you are hitting the top chest, so the transcendent chest here and the ultimate chest from the Nightmare clan boss. They give you the best odds at obviously getting the sacred shards, but like I said, it gives me about 16 on average, and this allows me to basically complete any fusion while netting out additional sacred shards so I can save up even more. In some fusions, I actually don't even use that many sacred shards, but of course during summon rush events, you would probably be best to use sacred shards since they are worth the most points. Also, I don't 100% participate in all like sacred shard events, like 2x sacred shards or 1+1 sacred shard events. So I do manage to save up quite a bit of my sacred shards. At this point, they're basically just currencies for fusion summon rush events. So you will see me amass my sacred shard stash over a long period of time. But if you can hit these different areas, you can definitely farm yourselves up a good amount of sacred shards per month. Hopefully I showed you guys some of these areas, some of the math, some of the details behind how you guys get the sacred shards. Hopefully you guys can use some of the advice I shouted out in this video. So hopefully it'll help you guys progress through the game. And hopefully I show you guys that this game is totally playable without having to spend any money in this game for shards, and you can do fusions and all that stuff. But of course, I am super late game, super end game, but it takes time to get here, right guys? So definitely put in the work. Hit that Ultra Nightmare clan boss as soon as you can, and then start farming that loot pinata. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. Appreciate your time as always. See you guys in the next video.